Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. Need an orthopedist? Go to Brock. Need a roof? Call Parish. Unique physique and unique aesthetics and wellness. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. Use the code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. Okay, what's up, y'all? Good morning. How about Lane Kiffin? Like a scene out of a movie. Flies to the airport to intercept Sam Leavitt as he's leaving Tennessee before he goes to Miami. Huge vibes of like 10 Things I Hate About You, where Matthew McConaughey's racing to keep, what was her name? Kate Hudson, but what's her name in the movie? I forget. Anyway, from getting on the airplane, or like Jim Carrey racing through the airport to bring Mary Swanson her luggage. She forgot. Anyway, but yeah, no, I like many of you saw on Friday, Kiffin's tweet from the Knoxville airport. And thought, okay, like, is he there to see Sam Leavitt? Is he trolling? Is this an old picture? Does he just happen to be in Knoxville? Is like, there's a lot of different things. So I started making calls, and I got 3 independent sources all to confirm, yes, in fact, he was there to see Sam Leavitt. So Leavitt was on his visit to Tennessee, was leaving Tennessee to go to Miami. Lane went to the Tennessee airport to meet with Leavitt before he went to Miami. So, I mean, that's pretty aggressive strategy, right? I mean, if you want to, apologize or show someone how you value them or their worth, it's a pretty good way to do it. Get on a plane and fly to go see him. I'll just pick up the phone or text, like actually go see him face to face. So Tigers need a quarterback. Leavitt's the best one available in the portal. And, they kind of screwed up the end of his visit. So, when they started pursuing Damon Williams, and that thing blew up. And so that was risky, right? We talked about it at the time. Pivoting from Leavitt when you had the bird in hand to Damon Williams, which was not a sure thing, that was risky. And if you don't get Leavitt, you're in a bind, because now you start going down the list like we've talked about. Is it Deuce Knight? Is it Longstreet from Southern Cal? Is it someone who's not in the portal yet that you try to get a deal done through agents? And you're running out of time because Friday, just 6 days, is the deadline to enter the portal. Now, you don't have to commit, but if players are going to transfer, they have to enter the portal by Friday. So you've got a little bit of a smaller window here, compressed window. You need a decision from Leavitt, and then if he picks Miami or Tennessee or somewhere else, then which direction do you go? So the Tigers have done great work in this portal class. I mean, you go look at the portal class rankings. They're right. I think Penn State is 1, LSU's 2, and then Oklahoma State's 3. Here you go. But here's the difference. So Penn State has 28 commits. Oklahoma State has 36. LSU has 17. So LSU's second in the portal class rankings with 17 commits. So Penn State's got 11 more. Oklahoma State has 19 more. You know what I mean? So they've done an incredible job with the quality and matched with the quantity. So, but they're not done. They got 17. I told you they're gonna push close to 30 in this portal class. So, said it all along that I was told it was gonna be like single digits on the defensive side and probably 20-ish or more on the offensive side. And you're pushing those numbers. So, okay, let's say some good mornings. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Thanks for being here with us. Hey, normal guy, good morning from Slidell. Oh, yes. Real quick, Parish Construction and Roofing, we've been nominated for Best of Baton Rouge. I have on YouTube pinned in the comment the link to vote, and that is a direct link. So when you open it, it literally takes you right to the page just to vote for Parish. I mean, you can, when I tell you literally you can do this in 5 seconds, I mean, literally you can do this in 5 seconds. So please click the pinned comment in the description and vote for Parish. I'd appreciate it greatly. Hey, James, good morning. Adrian, Patrick, Michael, Brad, Corey, good morning, y'all. Caleb, morning from Lafayette. Give us some good news. Lots of good news. Tigers landed a center this morning. Got word of this last night, so it's always interesting. You try to work ahead as much as you can. You pre-write things so it's ready to go. So William Satterwhite, center from Tennessee, he was our backup. Played in 3 games in 2024. Played in 7 games this year as a reserve in 2025. So LSU's pushing to get Braylon Moore back, but this would be your backup center. So remember, kind of talked about, like, think of it like an NFL model where you have your 5 starters, and then you have like a backup center, a swing tackle, and a swing interior player that can play on either side of the ball. So you really have 8 guys, which you're looking for. So that's kind of how you got to approach it. You don't need 15 because you're not going to play 15 offensive linemen. You really need probably 8. I'm not saying they're only going to have 8 scholarship linemen. They're going to have more than 8 scholarship linemen. I think they'll probably end in the 12, 13 range. But 8 that you really feel like you're going to count on. Hey, good morning, y'all. Good morning. Michael, Kelly, good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Great photo of Jameis. All right. Very good, man. We'll tell Gwen we said hello. Thank you, man. Good to see you. Hey, Lutcher, good morning. Lutcher Will. Nick, I didn't get a chance to see yesterday. I need more Pete Golding in my life. What do you mean? Jeffrey, Mike, Luke, corner and linebacker from Ole Miss. Yeah, so there was, listen, you got to, so that's the first, additional 2 players from Ole Miss that have gone to the portal. The one I've been telling you about for weeks is Winnie Watkins, the receiver. He was one of the 5 that LSU had like a verbal deal in place before the portal opened. And my understanding is that if LSU still wants him, that he'll be an LSU Tiger. So Winnie Watkins is maybe one to watch as far as an addition to LSU from Ole Miss via the portal. Now, the 2 Ole Miss players that today have gone in the portal, 2 defensive players. Okay, I'll talk about Indiana too. I've been trying to tell y'all, bro. A lot of people just want to look at that logo. So Watkins is entering the portal, and then it's a linebacker and a cornerback who are entering the portal. But anyway, I've not heard those names connected with LSU again. I think LSU is almost done defensively. I told you they got Jordan Ross from Tennessee. Like the way it was explained to me is they graded Jordan Ross and Chaz Coleman the same. They offered them both, and whichever one wanted to commit, they take. Ross committed. Coleman went on his visit to Ohio State. He's at South Carolina now. I think Blake Baker will definitely push to get Coleman as well, but they took Ross, and they took the edge from South Carolina as well. It comes over with Sterling Lucas. They got 2 edges, 2 interior tackles. They got the safety they wanted, Ty Benefield, who's the number 1 safety in the portal. If there's a player that's like an absolute take, then you do it. I feel like everything defensively here on out is lagniappe. It's bonus for Blake Baker. I think they've got, this is exactly what I was told they were going to do. They're probably going to sign single digits, maybe like 5. 2 tackles, 2 edges, because that's where Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock are emphasizing the importance of defenses up front. And then they got the best safety in the portal. They might be done defensively unless if there's just a bonus player that they're going to take. Peyton, good morning. Thought something big was happening because you hadn't gone live. No, man. I slept till about 8:30 and then went to my cold plunge in my whole morning routine. Then had a couple things I had to edit for LouisianaSports.net. Let's see. I don't think you're right about this. I think you went to sign an offensive lineman. Philip, I'm telling you, You're wrong. Lane Kiffin went to Knoxville yesterday to go see Sam Leavitt. I'm telling you that with 100% certainty, individually sourced from 3 different people, independent of each other. Lane Kiffin flew to Knoxville yesterday to see Sam Leavitt at the airport, period. Fact, that happened. They signed the Tennessee offensive lineman who visited Baton Rouge. They didn't fly to Tennessee to visit a backup center, okay? Come on, dude. QB from Elon is athletic. Yeah, so he visited as well. I think Guerra, the JUCO quarterback, is supposed to be there today, maybe? Or maybe. I think today. Let me check on that to make sure. Brian, good morning from Portage, Indiana. Talking heads are talking about Indiana compared to they do it every year. Like every year around, it's the same thing last year with Ohio State, the same thing with Michigan 2 years ago. They like every year they compare whoever is win the championship to the best to LSU's best team ever. And then it's people who are prisoner of the moment trying to make conversation on Twitter, and it's stupid. No, Indiana's not the greatest team ever. Indiana's played. LSU beat 7 top 10 teams that year. And Indiana's awesome, by the way. Y'all been coming back here. You know that I've been hyping this Indiana team since they beat Oregon the first time, because I was like a lot of people who was like, So let's see. They beat Ohio State, Oregon, Illinois, who was number 9 at the time, 3. And then they've beaten Oregon again in Miami. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So they have 5. They have 5 top 10 wins. It's very impressive. It's very, very impressive. William, update on the backup quarterbacks. Don't have one, just that those 2 guys are visiting. Landon Clark is the Elon guy. He visited yesterday. Hey, Wade, good morning. Jeremiah, good morning. Thomas, good morning. Shabbat Shalom. Torah is life. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Shabbat Shalom. Zach, good morning. Who plays Kiffin in the movie adaptation of Sam Leavitt? Matthew McConaughey's got to be right. Eli Jones, good morning. Stephen, good morning from Connecticut, River Parish transplant. Okay. Oh, wow. From the River Parishes to Connecticut. Culture shock. You think he sang and played guitar? Oh, man. Antonio, good morning. Praying to the quarterback gods. Miami are confident they'll get Sam. He did get on the plane. Next quarterback options. Yeah, by the way, like if I'm Miami, I would feel confident too, right? Like, wouldn't you? I mean, they're about to play for the national championship with a first-year transfer. They turned Cam Ward into the first overall pick of the draft last year. I mean, they've had success with transfer quarterbacks. So yeah, it makes sense. The flip side of it is LSU has a lot to sell also. I mean, Lane Kiffin is the one who found and developed, and Weiss found and developed Trinidad Chambliss. Dart was a transfer who became a first-round draft pick. LSU's had 2 Heisman winners that were transfers with Jaden and Joe. I mean, the point is, like, both have a lot to sell. Both have a lot to sell. It's okay. I'm a limo driver. Hey, Brad, what month of the year do college football coaches usually take their vacation? Usually, like, after spring ball, when you get towards summer, because the coaches can't have contact during summer workouts. Like, that's just the strength and conditioning staff. So that before they start ramping up for fall camp by the end of July. So usually like June, July. But they have camps as well during the summer, so they have to kind of balance it around camps. Cody, good morning. I know I'm overreacting, but it's concerning. We have literally 0 scholarship quarterbacks on the roster. How is Lane able to get these wide receivers despite that? So that's a good question. I wouldn't overreact to it. They're going to sign quarterbacks. How is he getting wide receivers? 2 ways. Number one, they trust him. And number 2, he's probably explaining to them the quarterback plan more so in detail than he's explaining or would explain to any of us. So I asked that question to Malachi Thomas. So Malachi Thomas is the tight end from Pitt who committed to LSU. And I asked him, I was like, any hesitation, signing with LSU when they don't have a quarterback on the roster? And he said, man, it's like Lane Kiffin's going to get a quarterback and sling the rock. I mean, that was it. So I think they just trust him and his offense. He deserves the benefit of the doubt. Hey, Chet. That's not 10 things, but how to lose a guy in 10 days. Sorry, how to lose a guy in 10 days. But I do love 10 things I hate about you. I love you. Anyway, Regina, good morning. Any update on Braylon Moore? Nope. I was told that was last Saturday. I was in Vegas last Saturday when they told me they were finalizing the contract with Braylon Moore. So the longer that goes, the longer I need to ask for an update on Braylon Moore. I need to, because they were last Saturday. I reported it like they were finalizing the deal and looked like they were going to get it done. So hope they didn't hit a snag, but I'll find out. Hey, Carl, good morning. So you're telling me there's a chance. What was all that 1 in a million talk? Thomas, good morning. Philip, haven't heard. Okay, got it. Let's see. Brian, okay, tell me what I missed while I slept last night. So but nothing overnight. Abner, good morning. Thank you for the great job. You got it, Abner. Thanks for being there, man. Billy Weeks, good morning. Thanks for all the content. Hope you and your family have a great weekend. Thank you, bud. Same to you and yours. Edo rushing the airport to stop Chasson from going to Florida. That happened. So like the airport visits aren't altogether unique, certainly uncommon, rare. But yeah, that happened. Ed's told that story before, how he went to the airport like 4 a.m. before Caleb Von Chasson got on the plane to go to Florida. He said, I wanted my face to be the last thing you saw before you got on the plane. Like, ain't no doubt about it, man. Like, I've said it for a long time, despite my criticisms of Ed Orgeron as a head coach, two things, undeniably, he is elite at recruiting, coaching defensive line. Like, undeniable. Hey, John, good morning. Any word yet on Ole Miss players coming over in the portal? Nope, not yet. I mean, we told you about 5 before the portal opened, and when they beat Georgia and that delayed it, they ended up re-signing 4 of those 5. The one they didn't was Winnie Watkins, the receiver who's now in the portal. And I do believe, like, again, provided LSU still wants Watkins, he'll end up here, which I believe he will. Winnie Watkins is also very close to Knox Kiffin. Like, he would go to Knox's games. I mean, that's one that always felt like the largest degree of certainty. So, do we actually think we can land Sam after fumbling when he was here? I don't know. I mean, the way that I said it is it was improbable, not impossible. And because I was told 2 nights ago that, like, the Leavitt thing had a heartbeat. Like, it was on life support, but it was still there. And so that was a bold move to get on a plane to fly up and see him. Hey, Scott. Well, he did get the center of Tennessee, so that works also. Morning, Scone. Do you think he will get much of a break before spring ball? Do you think you will get much of a break before spring ball? No, man. We're about to go right into baseball season. I'm fired up about that, man. Baseball is going to be incredible. Hey, Amy, good morning. Let's see. What is going on with the CSC coming out saying MMR deal is not legal, as reported by Ross Dellinger? I thought LSU had third-party NIL locked up. See what I haven't seen Ross's report. Let me see. Hang on. So what she's asking there. So the CSC is the College Sports Commission. That's kind of like the ruling governing body overseeing this. And the MMR are the multimedia rights deals, right? So the third-party NIL deals through the multimedia rights, which is Playfly that I told you about. I'm looking at. Let's see. Here's Ross's tweet. CSC has serious concerns. Some of the deal terms being contemplated, consequence of those parties involved. Does this say specifically LSU? So he quote tweeted his report about Sorsby with the CSC's letter from January 9th. I don't know. I'm not reading all through this, but that's not the. So I guess my reaction to that, and I'll ask Amy, but my reaction to that would be, um, of course they're going to go through it with a fine tooth comb, but nothing from LSU has been rejected yet so far. Like they've been doing since the summer, right? They've been doing third party NIL deals through Playfly and NILSU Max, and none of them have gotten rejected. So I think there's a pretty good precedent to say they've done a good job with it. So we'll see. Let's see. Let's see. Good morning, Matt. Thankful for you keeping us up to date. What's your favorite bourbon? My favorite, I would tell you like my everyday like sort of sipper that I love the most is Weller 12, which is the black label Weller right there. Probably my favorite allocated bottle that comes out every year is the Four Roses LE, which is amazing. If you're going like just top tier favorite, I would probably go with the Pappy 15 year. Of course, there's RIP 10, there's Lot B12, there's 15, 20, Pappy 23. But I think 15 is the sweet spot. I think the Pappy 15 is the best one. Let's see. With the weather in Knoxville, I was there. Nobody happened to fly there. But Lane Kiffin did. He flew there yesterday. I'm telling you with 100% absolute certainty. Failure to launch. Not failure to launch. I'm talking about how to lose a guy in 10 days. Oh, no, was that failure to launch? No, it was how to lose a guy in 10 days. It was how to lose a guy in 10 days when she was getting on a plane to take a job in Boston or something like that. That's what I was talking about. Hey, Austin, good morning from Gatlinburg. Actually passed right by Neil and Sadie myself. Okay. Morning, Scone. Happy 2-year anniversary for the first Bama is burning. Was it 2 years ago today? Is this the day that Saban? I don't think I did Bama is burning the day Saban retired. I don't know that we called that Bama is burning. Was this the anniversary of Saban retiring, the 10th? Special day. Hey, Sage, good morning. Frank, good morning. Michael, good morning. From 35,000 feet. Okay, airline Wi-Fi. You know what? I'm glad it's working for you. Our airline Wi-Fi to and from Vegas wasn't great when we flew last week. Ryan Balote, good morning. I know this is irrelevant. I think LSU should have given Juwan Johnson some thought. A quarterback, curious your thoughts. Look, man, I'm not going to sit here and say that but Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss have earned the benefit of the doubt. If they went through their evaluation and didn't want to move forward with Juwan Johnson or Colin Hurley, okay. You're paying that man $91 million. Let him go put his roster together. What about the quarterback from Elon? Yeah, it's a backup situation. I mean, just think what Ole Miss just did with Trinidad Chambliss, right? I mean, they had Austin. It's hard to think of it in this terms now, but they had Austin Simmons. They went and got the kid from Ferris State to come in and be a guy with a lot of experience to be a backup. That's what they're doing with Landon Clark from Elon, with Trey Guerra from Tyler JUCO. I mean, they're bringing in these guys as backup options. I mean, you have no scholarship quarterbacks. You've got to add a starter and then some quality depth. So that's what they're doing. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a better analogy. Instead, when Jim Carrey's running through the airport trying to get Mary Swanson her bag. Yeah, liar is good. All right, please smash the like button if you would, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Hey, Chris, good morning. Todd, good morning. Landon Clark, talked about him. They're not bringing Landon Clark in from Elon to be the starter. That's just, they're bringing him in to look at him as an experienced backup option. Chance they asked Lamar Brown to play O-line. I know there's some people who've suggested to me they think that could happen, but I just know that Lamar wants to play defense. They recruited him to play edge. I mean, that's not me. Lamar came on my radio show and said that. He said they're recruiting me to play edge and that he wanted to play defense. So when he goes and watches practice, he's over there with Kevin Peoples' group. That's where they're recruiting him. So I think he could play inside and out, but he wants to play defense. They recruit him to play defense. I think he's going to play defense. Could they try to convince him to play offense? Sure, they could try. Do it. I mean, I think he would be awesome at it, but we'll see. Gulf South, with the scholarship limit raised to 105, why is Emil Picarella just per walk-on, not on scholarship? Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I guess technically you'd be right in that respect because they don't have like the walk-on program anymore. But I don't think they're going to get to 105. I think it's important to remember, like, scholarship costs are not deferred. They have to be paid. So if you look at the budget, like the athletic department budget, annually, one of the biggest expenses is the scholarship expense because you've got to, like the athletic department actually has to write the check to the university to cover the scholarship, the cost of attendance for their student athletes. I mean, we just saw like this year, right? I told you the number. They played 35 guys on offense, I think 45 on defense. You played 80 players. There's no point in having the expense of another 25 scholarship athletes when you're trying to figure out ways to reduce expenses. You're not going to take on that expense when those guys aren't going to play. And a lot of them don't stay. So I just doubt very, very seriously that you're going, even if you can, I doubt that they're going to get to 105 scholarship athletes. We were number one in the portal last year. Not sure if it means anything. So much of it is about evaluation. I think it's why I would say look at someone like Trey Brown, the receiver from Old Dominion, or Jackson Harris, the receiver from Hawaii. Or even better, sprinkle the offensive lineman from NC Central. Like, do you trust the evaluation to get players at positions of need? Last year, they went and got a bunch of premier players, and some of them hit, right? I mean, like, A.J. Halsey was a hit. Monsoor Delane was a hit. Braylon Moore was a hit. Berrien Brown hit. But think about like Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson was maybe the top receiver in the portal last year. You missed there. Bauer Sharp was a miss. Josh Thompson was a hit. But like Patrick Payton was a miss. I think Patrick Payton might have been the top edge in the portal, and he just didn't produce for you. So Tiger Poppy, good morning. Sage, good morning. But see, Kelly showed us portal rankings, not all that. Yeah, I'm not saying like you should be locked in the portal, but like the rankings, but it is an illustration of the quality and caliber of the guys you're getting. But a big part of that is you've got it. Well, it also certainly hurt LSU this year that your starting quarterback missed 5 games. Have they had visits from other depth quarterbacks other than Elon? Yeah, so I talked about Trey Guerra from Tyler JUCO. Kiffin running through the airport like OJ did in the Hertz commercials. Now, that is a deep cut there, Lewis, showing your age. Hey, Jacob, good morning. Drunk Vigo, good morning. Steven, good morning. Rex, good morning. Team Drew, thank you, Tiger Poppy. Appreciate that. Good morning. Lewis, good morning. Courtney, good morning. Why so many wide receivers? I'm sick about Teron Francis. West Virginia has a stud. Yeah, well, so many wide receivers because all of your wide receivers are gone, either portal or graduation. I mean, remember, like, you're losing Aaron Anderson, Xavier Thomas, Berrien Brown, Chris Hilton. We're all gone. And then in the portal, you lost Kyle Parker, Teron Francis, Kylan Billiot, Jelani Watkins. I mean, you have nobody left in that room. You had to go get numbers in that room. So they've done that. And a reason a lot of these guys are leaving is, I think some of them are getting really bad advice based on what they think they can command financially and how they address these conversations with the coaching staff. So, like, if you're a player, like let's say Kylan Billiot, for example, who's now going to James Madison. If you're Kylan Billiot and you've come to LSU and you've sat for 2 years and not played, and you want a certain dollar value, well, this coaching staff is going to look at you and say, no. I mean, you haven't done anything. Would you rather spend the money on Kylan Billiot, who hasn't played 2 years? I'm not picking on Kylan Billiot. I'm just throwing out an example. Or go get a guy like Jackson Harris from Hawaii, or Trey Brown from Ole Miss, or Trey Wilson from Florida, who have multiple years of starting contributing caliber players, or even depth pieces like the one they signed, Mike Elzy from Illinois, who is 3 years into college, who redshirted this year as a third-year player at Illinois, played in just 4 games, but has 2 years of eligibility remaining, who's 21 years old and has played 3 years. Would you rather that as a depth piece or someone who hasn't played? So I think a lot of these guys are approaching it like they see what LSU's spending. They're asking for a lot of money. And I think Glasscock and Kiffin have been like, one thing that's just been made very clear to me is that they are looking at their budget and being very fiscally responsible. They're committing to their evaluation and their budget. And so I think that's one. The other part of it's about how they approach those conversations. It's a huge part of that is hang on. Someone asked about it. Hey, oh, good. Y'all will hear it first. Kentucky offensive lineman visiting today, Darren Stray. Hang on, let me tweet this. Darren Stray. Hang on, let me tweet this, y'all. Well, actually, here's a good opportunity to do this while I tweet this. Here you go, Thomas.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Okay, we're tweeted. There we go. There we go. And by the way, Jaden Yates is the linebacker from Ole Miss that hit the portal. So he started his career at Marshall, spent this year at Ole Miss, started at linebacker, and now is in the portal. Let's get some of these super chats. Brandon, thank you, man. If LSU signs Leavitt, when do you think he can play relative to his Liz Frank injury? Yeah, that's a good question. I think, and I'm like, that has been their concern, right? He will certainly miss spring. Ideally, he would be ready for the start of fall camp. That would be the target. Tony Batts, good morning. Jonathan, morning, Scone. Kiffin had a wide receiver turn quarterback in Blake Sims and one of the best seasons of Bama, so I trust him. That's true. I know Ross Dellinger, your homie. What's been up with him trying to make LSU look bad with his reporting? What do you mean trying to make LSU look bad with his reporting? Like, you're going to have to elaborate a little bit. I mean, if you're a reporter, you report stories. And you don't sit on stories that are newsworthy and relevant. I mean, is it? I don't even know what you're talking about. Are you talking about like the CSC stuff? I mean, that's an incredible get. So for getting the Sorsby deal. So of course that's newsworthy. It's a great get. Lane train and automobiles. Let's see. Hey, Jay, good morning. Let's see. Kenneth, Matt, tell fans to relax. Let Lane cook. Thomas, good morning. Jeffrey, good morning. Let's see. When does the portal close? Friday. Also heard McElroy compare Mendoza to Burrow. I thought anything. Indiana's really good, man. Been talking about them since, and I know a lot of people I said it a bunch. People look at the logo. And I did too, by the way, at the beginning of the season after last year. Last year they went 11-1, made the playoffs, and got crushed. And so this year when they started off undefeated again, I was like, same thing. When they went to Eugene, I watched that whole game when they played Oregon, and they won 30-20. And that game was tied in the fourth quarter when Mendoza threw a pick six. But I'm telling you, in the same way that Miami dominated that Ole Miss game, Indiana dominated Oregon the first time in Eugene. They had a bunch of false start penalties and the pick six, and it was some things like that that kept Oregon in it. But I'm telling you, that was never a game. And if you watched that game, you'd have been like, oh, they just went to Autzen and just took it to Oregon. Like, they're good. They got the scare against Penn State up in Happy Valley. But other than that, man, they have rolled. I guess it was a close game against Ohio State. Let's see. Good morning. Quarterback situation getting trippy. I trust Lane with any direction he goes at quarterback. And by the way, is Indiana definition of a Cinderella? No, because they're a Big Ten team, but it's a fun story. But what was the other part we were talking about? Doggone, I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, the quarterback piece. So that's one of the reasons why, you always feel confident when you hire a head coach that is a specialist. Because you always feel like, okay, that piece of the team, that side of the ball is always going to be good, right? As long as Nick Saban was at Alabama, their defense was going to be really good. Because as long as Lane Kiffin was at Ole Miss, their offense was good. As long as Lane Kiffin's at LSU, LSU's offense should be really good. Should never have to worry about that, right? That's kind of the commonality here. Hey, Dennis, good morning. Let's see, Gulf South. Can you tell me you honestly believe Kyle Parker would be worse in Kiffin's system than these small school wide receivers that transferred in? Well, first of all, you don't know anything about those receivers. Second of all, so much of this, again, is about evaluating talent based on financial ask. You have to budget your roster. And so they've assigned a value to someone like Kyle Parker. If Kyle Parker wanted more than what they assigned a value to him, then they'll let him walk. It's no different than NFL free agents. I say this all the time. You have to reframe your mind on how you think about building a roster. It's not just about keeping that guy. It's about keeping that guy at what price. Think about when the Saints let Marcus Williams walk in free agency. They had a number in mind. They were willing to pay Marcus Williams as a safety. He wanted more money. He left. That happened to Mark Ingram as well. Ingram had been a Saint his whole career. The Ravens ended up signing Mark Ingram for something like $200,000 more than what the Saints had been offering. It was a negligible amount. But they had their number. That was it. They were not going over. And you have to be disciplined. And that's what they are. So you don't have to like it. I'm not telling you it's right or wrong or good or bad. It's just what it is. Again, and you and I have no control over that whatsoever. This is how they're doing it. So I'm just explaining to you how this front office is going about making these decisions. Do I like Kyle Parker? Yes, I think he's awesome. Does this coaching staff like Kyle Parker? I'm sure they do. But do you like Kyle Parker at what level? And can you replace that productivity and invest that difference more so in your offensive line or quarterback or defensive line? That's how you build a roster. You know how you build a roster that doesn't win? Look at the Cincinnati Bengals. You pay your quarterback and your wide receivers, and your defense and offensive line are atrocious. Great. You have an awesome quarterback and great receivers. You can't win because you can't protect your quarterback and you can't stop anybody. Quarterback and receivers are great, though. Hey, Clayton, good morning. Landon Clark, USC quarterback, Lagway and or Leavitt. Lagway's going to visit Ole Miss today. Chris, good morning. Any smoke around Lance Hurd returning? Zero. I've heard zero smoke. I was told from someone up at Tennessee that he made just over $1 million this year. And I cannot see LSU paying him $1 million. I can't see it. Hey, Ryan, good morning. Teams of the finals for Leavitt. Well, I mean, it's LSU, Tennessee, Miami. Keep an eye on Oregon, too, what they do, because if Dante Moore goes pro, then Oregon needs a quarterback. Hey, Linda, good morning. Tony, good morning. Cosmos, good morning from Costa Rica. PNG Report, good morning. Let's see. I think Lane screwed up big time. You played both ends against the middle. Maybe so. Like, it may play out that way because they had Leavitt here ready to commit, and they took their eye off the ball and started focusing on Damon Williams, and Leavitt left. And now he's visited Tennessee. He's going to visit Miami. A few of the people I spoke with last night after Lane's visit to Tennessee felt like it went really well and like they were close, but we'll see. What are our quarterback plans now? We're getting all these wide receivers, no one to throw the ball to. Well, talk about that a little bit. I feel like Sam Leavitt still taking that Miami trip. They're desperate for a quarterback. Am I overreacting? I think LSU is absolutely desperate for a quarterback. That's why Lane Kiffin got on a plane and flew to Knoxville to go see Sam Leavitt. Any chance Eccles enters the portal? Love him. Are you talking about? You're not talking about Cohen Eccles. You're talking about Will Eccles not Will Eccles, the defensive lineman from Ole Miss. No, that's one of the ones. Eccles and Franklin, the two defensive line. So I told you this before. I'll just reiterate it. So in the legal tampering lead up to the portal, Bryson Sanders, the center, Eccles and Franklin, the two defensive tackles, were three that LSU tried to pursue. All said thanks, no thanks. They're staying at Ole Miss. I think Franklin actually got announced today as well. The ones that were going to come were Chambliss, Lacey, Alexander, Watkins, and Carniero, the kicker. It was those five. And ultimately, we know what happened. They beat Georgia. It extended their season into the portal window. Ole Miss boosters sort of like recommitted to keeping their guys on the roster. They probably overpaid and got those guys to stay. LSU sort of moved on from Chambliss because of the waiver thing, as we've seen. But Lacey's getting $2 million from Ole Miss to stay. Deuce Alexander staying. LSU had offered Carniero $350. He got $400 from Ole Miss to stay. The number for Deuce Alexander, I was told weeks ago, was 1-2. I don't know what Ole Miss gave him to stay, but Winnie Watkins would be the one. And we'll look at some of these defensive guys. Let's see. Jacob, defense seems solid. Got a ton of players, and he switched focus to offense. They've gotten 17 commits. I think a dozen of them are offense. Jackson Harris, Racine Guillory, Malachi Thomas, Trey Brown, Rod Gainey, Jace Brown, Trey Wilson, Jaquan Sprinkle, Jacoby Jones, Malik Elzy, Josh Jackson. I mean, they've loaded up on offense. They need to get a couple more linemen, and they certainly need a couple quarterbacks. Leavitt is obviously on tour. Anthony, good morning. This has officially become comical that Kiffin can't get a quarterback. How are we supposed to field an offense without a functional quarterback? He's supposed to be portal king. Got it. So, Anthony, let me get this straight. So you think LSU is going to field a team without a quarterback? You remain in the hierarchy of worst fans here. You realize that. Someone who only knows how to spew negativity. I'm not saying you have to be a sunshine pumper. I certainly view myself as someone who can criticize when warranted. But you, sir, are nothing but a ball of negativity. And that must be just a miserable existence as a fan. Like, you're like Randy Quaid in Major League Two, just sitting in the outfield complaining about everything the entire time. Phil, good morning. While getting gas last night, I found myself singing the AFR theme. Well, thank Mr. Toby Tomplay, because he is the king of the earworm. Kevin, Jason Troxclair, IU is legit. What more do you need to see? Nothing. They're awesome. Been saying that since they beat Oregon the first time. Was the tiger emoji for the lineman or more to come? I think Lane is a really good troll. An outstanding troll, as a matter of fact. Hey, Jim, good morning. Peyton, yes. Samuel, good morning. Hey, Robbie. Yep. There's no comp, for LSU 2019. Greg, how cold is your plunge for how long? 50 degrees, 6 minutes. No evidence to suggest going colder than 50 or longer than 6 minutes does you any benefit. So 50 degrees, 6 minutes. Minimum 3, maximum of 6. If you can only do 3, go 3. Hey, Bradley, good morning. Hey, Blair, thank you. So I have pinned in the chat, if you're on YouTube, 2,000 people watching. Thank you so much. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I have pinned in the chat the link to vote for Parrish for Best of 225. I'm 30 minutes behind on comments. So anyway, yeah. So pinned is so Parrish was nominated for for the best of Baton Rouge. If you click that link, it will take you directly to the page to vote for Parrish. Like, it's the only thing on the page is Parrish. Like, you don't have to scroll. Like, just click the link, just hit the little Parrish button, submit, and you're done. Like, you could literally do it in 5 seconds. So please vote. I'd appreciate it. Aaron, Oregon cost me money last night. Well, that's your fault. You should have listened to me. I've been telling you for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks that Indiana's legit. Let's see. I'm not worried about the quarterback situation. Who had TC when Lane took? Oh yeah, right. Trinidad Chambliss. How do you know that his agent or Sam himself didn't decide to take all his visits? You'll just have to decide, Pete, whether or not you believe me. Did you see the video of Stone Cold Steve Austin's first cold plunge worth a watch? I did not. I'll go check it out. It's a Coogan. Good morning. Occurred to me last night, LSU thought $3 million was too much to pay Underwood, but a year later they may have to pay twice that for a lesser quarterback. Is it a lesser quarterback? I mean, Bryce Underwood just started as a freshman and threw like 9 touchdown passes. Is it a lesser quarterback? Would you rather a guy that's been a multi-year starter and brought his team to the college football playoff? Is there any truth to LSU running back committing to Ole Miss? I guess you're talking about Caden Durham. I mean, I don't know if that's happened yet. Candidly, I haven't asked or anything like that this morning. But Caden Durham following Frank Wilson to Oxford is something that we discussed. How about this? Matt Zenitz, 11 minutes ago. LSU's working to get Caden Durham to withdraw from the portal. That would be interesting. That would be interesting if they could make that work. But I would love to have Durham and Barry back. It'd be great. I know one of the things that they were looking for was a more physical back. So, right, they signed 2 in the portal already with Racine Guillory and Racine Guillory and Rod Gainey from Charlotte. But I know they wanted a thumper like Jaden Baugh from Florida. Had he gone in the portal, would have been a target, but he ended up staying at Florida. And there was a guy, forgive me, it was a running back from Minnesota. I don't know his name, that they were also looking at. But you can keep Durham. I'm here for it. Let's see. Compare apples to apples with Indiana versus 2019. You'll see the difference. Yeah, I mean, Let's see. Oh, he's talking about JT Lindsay? I don't see anything. I'm just he visited Ole Miss. I see. Is that on his Instagram? I mean, it makes sense that he would go visit with Frank Wilson, but I haven't heard that. I mean, I can ask, obviously. I mean, broke the news last week of him having his legal situation cleared up. I mean, his attorney, Chris Perrette, I know will answer my call. So I'll ask Chris. I don't mind asking that. Man, this is so good. So good. Oregon targeting Raiola in the portal. I hadn't heard that, but I don't cover Oregon, so I don't know that very well. Is LSU still a favorite for Chaz Coleman? So what I was told is LSU effectively rated Jordan Ross and Chaz Coleman the same. And they offered them both the opportunity, and whichever one committed, they were going to take. And so Jordan Ross committed, and so they took Ross. Now Coleman, they also felt like if Coleman left his Ohio State visit without committing, they felt good. Now he's visiting South Carolina because his old position coach from Penn State is at South Carolina now. I think Blake Baker is going to push still for Chaz Coleman, but that would very much be lanyap after getting Jordan Ross. So I'm not saying they're out of the mix because I think Blake Baker is still going to push for it, but I think Ross coming here does maybe make it a little more cumbersome for Coleman. Running back from Michigan, you're talking about Haynes, former Alabama running back. I have not heard of LSU being in the mix for him. Kiffin's a great evaluator. I trust his process. Promise LSU fans will not fail. Sean, let's see, Matt, does it really matter which quarterback we get, being that we have two coaches that can develop him? I think, Sean, of course it matters. You trust your coaching staff because they do have a great history of developing quarterbacks. That is undeniably part of it. But doesn't it sort of limit the learning curve when you have a dude that's been a multi-year starter and has been in some tough environments and been to the playoff and won on the road? I mean, you know what I mean? So, Kerry Carter, good morning. Has LSU offered Longstreet? Not that I have heard. Hester said running backs are getting around $400K. Thought he'd make $500 in his day. If Lacey's getting $2 million, I think Hester would be in seven figures, right? I have no idea. But I have no problem whatsoever telling you the Lacey numbers. I mean, the original offer from Ole Miss was 1.8. They thought for sure he was leaving, and they gave him that to try to drive the price up on LSU. LSU was willing to go north of that, so 1.9 or 2. And I was told that Ole Miss, the deal Ole Miss did with Lacey was $2 million. So if you ask me, would I rather Harlem Berry for high six figures or Kejuan Lacey for $2 million? Kejuan Lacey is undeniable the more accomplished college running back. That is undeniable. But also look at what happened in the championship game. Kejuan Lacey busts off the long run, pulls his hamstring, largely unavailable for the rest of the game. Like, do you want to invest $2 million in a running back? I wouldn't. So I'd rather Harlem Berry at high six figures and take that million plus and go buy some linemen and, you know, defense player, backup quarterback. Asheville, North Carolina transplant from the West Bank. The best bank. There we go, man. Thanks for watching. You think we'll get in the middle of the Justice Haynes swoops? I don't think so. Sounds like they're trying to get Caden Durham back engaged. Does the Damon Williams situation feel like a setup to blow up LSU Leavitt? No. I think LSU is responsible for the Damon Williams situation. Cool. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All I wanted was a Pepsi. Just one Pepsi. No, you're a shoe guy. Have you seen the new, seen the Nike men mine 001 and 002? I have not. I need to, Clayton. As a matter of fact, I'm going to Ruckus today. One of my visits. Going to take Drew over to Ruckus with Terrio. So looking forward to that. Heath, got 4 guys from work listening to your shows. Appreciate it. Thanks so much, man. Scrolling. Todd, good morning, Matt. Love the show. Relatively new to the podcast. Been listening every day. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Caleb, thank you for voting. Appreciate y'all very much. If LSU doesn't get Sam, who's the next best quarterback? Yeah, so I think some people have mentioned about Longstreet from Southern Cal, who Lane and Charlie Weiss did recruit to Ole Miss. Deuce Knight was the next name that I heard. Kid from Mississippi. They recruited him to Ole Miss. He went to Auburn, played. He's a 5-star, played at Auburn this year as backup, played in 2 games. But as also Ole Miss is targeting, excuse me, Knight as their option after Chambliss. And then I think the other thing that's a possibility is that the quarterback isn't in the portal yet. Like, you could be working age. Like, I think something that very commonly happens is, like, let's say there's an agent for a quarterback at another school. Steve, what's going on at LSU? You call and say, hey, LSU, I represent player X. Here's what we have presently at school Y. Would you be interested potentially in doing a deal? How would that look? And so then maybe you have that conversation, player goes in the portal. Like, that's something that could happen, but that would have to happen obviously before Friday when the portal closes. It's so good. I do it too all the time. Chambliss would be crazy not to go in the draft now. I just disagree with that. Like, Chambliss is probably a day 2 pick. And so, like, if let's say he's a mid-round 2, 2026 NFL. So let's say he goes mid-round 2, like 45th. Let's say he goes the end of round 2, like the 60th pick. So the 60th pick, the 4-year rookie deal for the 60th pick is $7.9 million with a signing bonus, or year 1 is 1.4. So you go 1.4 to 1.8 to 2.1 to 2.5 over 4 years. Like, you could do that, or you could stay in school and make $5-6 million this year. Anyway. Yeah. Matt, you're the biggest sunshine pumper. Are you serious? I get it. You have to be. Really. You know what's hilarious to me? Like, seriously, it's like, I do find this very comical. I think it means I'm good at what I do. There are people like that guy that think I'm the biggest sunshine pumper. In the flip side, there are people that accuse me of being an LSU hater. I'm literally a guy that got blacklisted by the former coach and athletic director, Ogeron and Leavitt. They blacklisted me at LSU. They would not allow anybody. Joe Leavitt at one point would not allow anybody within the athletic department to come on my show. But I'm a sunshine pumper. I guess it just means I'm doing my job. Like, if you can't tell if I'm a homer or a hater, it just means I'm consistent. So keep coming back. Heard TJ Finley committed to Parish Construction. That is not true at all. It's factual inaccuracy. Matt, Penn State diehard. Been following since your crossover with Zach. Very cool. Love the way you cover LSU thing. By the way, how about that? There's a guy that doesn't love LSU. Thank you for that, Don. Or Dondo Prophet. That's who doesn't love LSU. An impartial observer who likes the show. Doesn't think I'm a super. I'm a sunshine pumper. My office turns in Moscona West. I love it. Finn, 30 wide receivers without a quarterback is like LSU baseball without Mr. Robert. I don't know what that means. Eric, good morning. Kuiper had Chambliss as his number 4 pick. Yet, and didn't he also have Shedeur last year as his like second or third quarterback? And he went around 5. I'm sorry, he had Shedeur as his number 1 quarterback in 25. Huh? Interesting. Yeah. So Mel Kiper last year had Shedeur Sanders as his number 1 quarterback. Number 2, Cam Ward. 3, Jackson Dart. 4, Tyler Shuck. Jalen Milroe, Kyle McCord, Will Howard, Dylan Gabriel. Oh, what a year. Anyway, yeah, no, he had so Mel Kiper last year had Shedeur as his number 1 quarterback. Went round 5. No doubt. All the NFL GMs are watching Mel Kiper's rankings. But that's no shade at Mel. Mel's good at what he does, but just to illustrate, it doesn't matter what he says. Like, it's about what teams are willing to spend on a draft pick for a quarterback. Starting to think we may be better off not spending $5 million and settle for not having a winning team next year. We're going to have $5 million wounded quarterback. Well, I mean, your rev share is going to reset every year, no matter what. Rev share is July 1 to June 30, and then it resets. So, and you don't get to roll that money over into the next year. So, you're going to go spend your money, and you're going to try to build a winner. Let's see. Might be just about done here, y'all. Jason, what up, dude? Sean Payton would love Chambliss on the roster. What about the Ole Miss linebacker hit the portal? Haven't heard anything. I'm not saying that it's not the case. Just haven't heard anything. We do need to reshoot the Parrish photo. And I think I was also probably like 60 pounds heavier at the time. The national championship is all Adidas. What's your golf handicap, man? I haven't played a round of golf in so long. I don't know. I can tell, and I never actually, like, when I was playing a lot, I never actually like submitted. It was to the PGA or whatever, or the USGA, like, to get an official handicap. My goal when I would go play, though, was always to break 100. I just wanted to shoot in the 90s. Best round I ever shot in my life was an 82. Interesting story. You may not find this interesting, actually, but no, I'm sorry. It was an 84. It was not an 82. It was an 84. Best round I ever shot was an 84. I think I still have the scorecard. So when Erica was pregnant with Drew, and when I could still play a lot, we had more free time before Drew came. But I did play a lot and took lessons. Actually, got fairly decent. At least knowing my game, like how to get around the course and score pretty well. There was a day in 2010. I'm sorry, not 2010. 2014. Excuse me, 2014. So we had moved to Houston. We relocated to Houston. Erica was, we transferred care there. It was 6 weeks to go. And so we had 6 weeks in Houston to just sort of wait for Drew to be born. And so we had a small apartment in the Med Center, the Texas Med Center, and there's a golf course. It's just a municipal course that was literally right across the street from our apartment building. And there was a day, it was like a Tuesday, and it was during the World Cup, and Gordy made the decision to preempt my show to air the U.S. World Cup game. And so I basically just had a day off. So I woke up that morning and just walked across the street to the clubhouse with my clubs at like 8 a.m. or whatever time it was, and just bought around and played around by myself. And I shot an 84. I need to go. I think I kept the scorecard. It's still in my golf bag. It was either an 82 or an 84. I don't remember. But I don't know why I keep vacillating. But it was incredible. I struck the ball well. I could play with really good pace because I wasn't waiting on anybody. It was like a Tuesday and there was nobody else in the course, right? So I just played through. And then after that, I didn't play around with golf again for more than a year after Drew was born. And I could probably count on one hand the number of rounds of golf I've played since then. Maxwell Miss, haven't heard that. Thank you, man. Appreciate the vote. Yeah, y'all please smash the like button if you would subscribe to the channel. 1,800, almost 1,900 of y'all watching live still on this Saturday morning. We are an hour and 6 minutes in. That's great. Appreciate y'all so much, man. So please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Always shout out to Brock. Remember, weekends, the after hours clinic is open. So if you need an orthopedist, you can bypass the ER and just go to Brock right there in Bluebonnet. Parish Construction and Roofing, awful rain all day yesterday. Have or think you might have roof damage, we'd love to help you out. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Just fill out the form on the homepage. We'll help you out. Unique Physique, Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. Remember, Unique Physique, that's the GLP-1s. So if your New Year's resolution to lose some weight loss shots, the GLP-1s, they got them lowest prices, never any contracts. Do the whole thing over telemed, and they'll ship your medicine anywhere in the country. So no matter where you're listening and watching, you're interested in learning more about the GLP-1 peptides, uniquephysique.com. Restored Motions, go book a session with my girl, Crystal Poche. She gets you feeling right. And of course, Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. Use the code MAT15, 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 15% off your order. How about this? Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that so much. Have an awesome day. We want Nuss. Nuss is out of eligibility. Scone, I always wondered who was the OL and safety that we were supposed to get last year that were playing in the playoffs still. Offensive lineman was from Notre Dame. Safety was from Penn State. Ryan Amanda Gidger, good morning, man. Thank you so much. Hope Phil Knight never wins a natty. $84 is good, actually. No, I know. It's look, especially for like never, especially for not. Here's the thing about when I play golf. Like, I'm not someone that like curses and throws clubs, and that like I know how hard it is to be good. And if you don't play enough consistently, it is irrational to think you should be good. So, you know, I snap hook one, or I fly a green, you know, whatever. I'll get another ball and just hit it again. You know, I'll keep my score appropriately, but I'm not, you know, I missed a 6-foot putt. Okay, missed a 6-foot putt. Morning. Any rumblings of quarterbacks aren't in the portal that might enter? I haven't heard names. I'm just telling you that, like, I think those are your paths if you're LSU right now. You either 78 Celebration Station. I think your path here is you either get Leavitt. And I mean, I got this text this morning, and I'm not going to tell you who it's from, but you can trust me if I'm credible or not. This person said to me, with regard to Leavitt, I heard it was pretty close yesterday afternoon, and that he was closing the gap. I'm sorry, and that he was going up to see him in Knoxville. So pretty close, closing the gap, going up to see him, see the finish. Yeah, the honest opinion on the Elon quarterback, man, I can watch if you had asked me 4 days ago who that guy was, man, I wouldn't have had a clue. So I can't tell you that I have some great deep knowledge of the Elon quarterback. I've watched some highlights. Looks pretty good. It's more along the lines of they want some experienced depth, like an experienced backup, and they know what skill set they're looking for, just like they did with Chambliss. Now, I'm not telling you that the Elon quarterback is going to be Chambliss. I'm not even telling you he's going to play. I'm not even telling you he's coming here. But if you're just thinking, okay, I need someone who's taken snaps and got a lot of playing time and experience that's coming in to be a clipboard holder and in a pinch, could give you reps if you need it. Okay. All right. What have you heard about Solomon Thomas? Nothing. I mean, he zero about Lance Hurd. Lance Hurd wants over $1 million, and they're not going to pay him that. Thomas was injured in fall camp last year. He didn't get healthy until the middle of the season. By that point, it was too late to try to have him actually play a significant or any relevant role on this team. And he hasn't gone in the portal. So my assumption is he'll be back. I'll tell you this. This is the cool thing so I haven't gotten to do this, but I've spoken to enough people who have, which is why I feel like I got a good handle on how they're approaching the roster. Like when a prospect comes in, they'll meet with their position coach, they'll take the tour, all that stuff. And you've got Glasscock, who's like the money guy, making all the money work. And then the guy they brought in, Austin Shelton, the assistant general manager they brought in from NC State, he's like the numbers guy. He's sitting there on a laptop, like crunching numbers as they go over evaluation, grading players, and how they give the correlating value. And that's it. It's really like a transactional thing. It's like, hey, here's what we think you're worth, financially, this is the deal. So it's like the coaches bring them in for the visit, show them everything, they get to know them, they put in their evaluation. And then after they do all that piece, then they talk to Billy Glasscock, who talks money with them, talks about the deal. So Pickerel is about to have the great Cinderella story of all time. I do know that they have invited Emil to stay on the roster. I do know that. So that's really cool. I mean, Emil's parents went to LSU, the U High kid, loves wearing the purple and gold. So that's really cool. Yeah, I'd love to see him stay in develop. That'd be great. Hey, David, good morning. I mean, this Tyson, I mean, look, first of all, if you're denying how good the Big Ten is, like, I can't help you. Indiana's going to win the championship. That's going to be 3 straight years, 3 different teams from the Big Ten winning the national championship. Oregon made the playoff as well. Like, they're a good league. You can't deny that. Okay. It's okay to admit that the Big Ten is good. They also have 18 teams. But the other part of it is Miami's proved worthy. They went on the road and beat an SEC team in their venue in the playoff. And then they beat Ohio State, a Big Ten team, in the playoff. And now they beat Ole Miss, another SEC team, in the playoff. So don't tell me about the gauntlet, because they've now beaten 3 playoff teams, 2 of them from the SEC, 1 of them in a true road game, and a team that many thought was the best team in college football this year in Ohio State. So, man, like, it's the value of the playoff. You don't have to guess anymore. It is a true meritocracy. You're actually playing games on the field to determine this. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to guess. I don't need your opinion. Like, there is a playoff. They're doing it on the field. Doesn't matter what you think or what I think about a league. Like, thank you, Craig. The gauntlet is the playoffs. That's the point. Like, this is why nobody in the NBA, if the, or in the NFL, the Giants win the Super Bowl at 9-7, no one's going, oh, but they'd have to go through the gauntlet. Doesn't matter what your division was. You made it in the playoffs, and you went through the playoffs, and you won playoff games. They won the NFC Championship in 2007 at Green Bay. They won the Super Bowl against an undefeated Patriots team. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. They played games on the field. This has always been my point that we've had in every sport and forever, except college football, where people have to debate who's worthy. I got an idea. Play games and let that be the determining factor of who's worthy. That feels like a good dismount. All right. Let's get out of here and have us a nice little Saturday. I need to get Drew up. I need to get him dressed. I need to take him to go ride elevators. We're going to Sharky's here in a little while as well. Get a nice little haircut for old Drew today. Then we're heading to Ruckus later. So excited about this little Saturday. Nice little Saturday. Okay. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Remember, all of our sponsors linked in the description on YouTube. I'll get tagged on Facebook as well. You have an awesome day. We'll see you.